Hey Jude, this is Ben Gessel. How's it going? Okay, so that's a picture of Jesus. Anyway, kind of a part two tonight here. Um, so talk about some other stuff here. Um, the place I'm at right now is going to be ideal for music videos if I can make them in a day, which I definitely should be able to do that much easier. Kind of stuff. I just seem to have misplaced my tripod, so I'll try to figure out anyway. Good way of recording this stuff. So, um, yeah, maybe put it on a stand or something. Anyway, um, so some other things that are happening recently, and I'll get to some other subjects here. I've been teaching. We're getting close to 40 students, 40, 40, close to that number, and we got a recital. We got a recital set up, and of course, one of the trains of thought here is, well, it's COVID-19 stuff still because it's, you get this Delta variant that, I mean, folks, look, as you guys know probably, I've never had COVID-19. My sister had it though, so I know it exists. And, you know, I just, I know this is a real thing. I'm not, you know, and so because we have this Delta variant that we have, I don't know when it's going away. I've heard it's not as bad as COVID-19, the original one. I saw this doctor, listening to this doctor today talk about these different strains of COVID-19 and how it's related to the common cold and stuff. Very good, very information. I mean, it's good stuff. My foot. No, it's very good stuff. Um, but but yeah, I mean, like I have literally have no idea. Again, we don't know. We don't know when someone has COVID-19. I got my vaccinations, both of them. I was told that, you know, the antibodies in the vaccination only last so long. So you could get, I don't know how long. I would imagine years, but I don't know how many years. I got the Pfizer vaccine, and it was great. I had no side effects, nothing like that. The only thing that happened was my arm was a little bit sore for like a day. That was about it, day or two. And I mean, at a recital or any gathering, um, and of course when you're playing a wind instrument, that wind. I've heard that they get these bell covers for like horns. I don't know where to get them. And does it actually block COVID-19? And and in my recital coming up, we're gonna have at least a few hornists playing, I think, and most of the people playing are piano guys. But then there's the question of spacing. How far apart does everyone need to be? And this is still a few months away, so I don't know if things will be the same or if they'll be worse or they'll be better. And as far as the food considerations, it's like, yeah, I mean, like, to have recital without food is kind of different. I mean, but you can still do it. It's just it feels like something's missing, right? Because you want to talk afterwards. Sure, it's like a event where people come and get together and talk to each other. You don't, on some level, I would think. And it's the same kind of deal with concerts. It's just concerts you have ensembles playing, some kind of ensemble. I don't know. And then we have my orchestra starting up. I've been playing in for a while, quite a while, before COVID-19. And they've already started, as far as I know, on Tuesday. Just the strings. But then in October, we're all coming in and we got to have our COVID-19 cards ready to go, of course. And I don't know who has COVID-19. I mean, I don't know that, so we're all kind of just guessing that we're all going to be fine. And the people in charge of Fly Symphony are guessing. Everybody else is guessing. There's a event happening in early October that I can try to go to with some other guys. And when we go there to that concert, I'm guessing that everybody's guessing. Nobody knows for sure if we're going to be okay. There's no guarantee, you know. Um, is it a guarantee that you're not going to get COVID-19 because you've been vaccinated? No, there's no guarantee. But there's probably a very slim chance that you'll have issues. But it remains people to be, I don't know what the rules are for Seattle Symphony at Roy Hall versus other orchestras in the area. Whether they insist that all people that come to concerts have their COVID-19 cards or vaccinated or whatever, or have masks on at least, or I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. But I am very eager for life to go back to how it should be. Well, more like how life should be. I want people to get their heads on straight. Some people, but some people seem to kind of be going berserk. I would imagine that it's probably very understandable and very okay for a lot of people to be going berserk. That not only I know, but you guys know. And if you guys kind of flip out sometimes because of whatever, because this is probably a lot of it's COVID-19, but there's other things going on in our lives that are outside of the virus happening, sure, but the virus definitely has I would think, more negative or at least more isolating impact on people, on everybody. So if you guys are, either you are flipping out or people that are kind of acting odd, then just, I would say, realize that it's that we're all kind of experiencing it on some level. Imagine the most level-headed, happy, unfazed person you could possibly imagine. Very righteous, spiritual, whatever. During COVID-19, man, I mean, I can guarantee you that kind of person. I can guarantee you that person is going to be a little bit more down the dumps at times. Even that kind of person. So, I cannot imagine how hard it is for many of us who don't quite see ourselves quite that way. Or, we have more issues or whatever going on in our lives in general anyway. Whether they're more apparent or not. Anyway, I want to talk about some other stuff too tonight. You know, sometimes I think, how can I put this? It's, I'm listening to this guy from Sweden, ASMR guy. And it's funny because in his videos, he's so good at what he does that I really don't care very much about anything other than just going to sleep. you know. So I put his videos on when I'm like, I have to go to bed. This is gonna help me get to bed. And it's just kind of a very singular thing, the ASMR thing. I mean, that's supposed to be a tingly thing, right? It's supposed to be tingly, but for me, effective ASMR just, I'm out. Boom, right? Or it helps my body to relax so I can fall asleep. And then there's probably this Indian guy I mentioned before. Check it out, Prashanth. And he does this thing where he reviews a lot of cheaper stuff, but he has a very ASMR friendly voice, or whatever, relaxing voice. I'm sure I mentioned it before, and yeah, I mean, and then there's a lot of other kinds of videos I've seen, of course, but I still do watch nutrition stuff, but I guess it's more um, I don't know, it's I'm gonna shift angles here for a second. Okay. I don't know, folks. It just seems sometimes like. Do you ever feel like there are some things that are just um, never fully agreed upon, or never we don't have like the solution, the like for instance, the way we should eat, period, like in the right quantities of different foods and right times of day, and like we're getting closer to that, kind of, I would think, but there's still so much disagreement about stuff, and people believe that there's not one way, but there's many different ways, and it depends on you. We understand that a lot of it depends on the person, and all kinds of things about different people. But I think what I sometimes am listening for with these nutrition videos, so I'm trying to hear things that would just help me in my life to be healthier. I'm trying to be aware of what's happening in my own body. Um, and um, there are a lot of good people out there, and then there are people that I would say are just more eccentric that talk about this stuff. And by the way, there's a gentleman, his name is Dr. Mandel, and he's a really, really awesome guy. I would check out his channel. It's more, you just feel very inspired when you watch his stuff. Dr. Mandel. Of course, I still watch Dr. Berg. See, Dr. Furman doesn't have very much on YouTube. He's still, he's great, He eats lots of plant foods and stuff. But Dr. Berg, Dr. Barry, I've been watching their keto or their carnivore friendly, the meat friendly stuff, right? Not so much Dr. Greger, a little bit. Um, maybe some other guys here and there too. It's just that um, if you guys are exercising, getting regular sleep, and you're not eating junk food, right? If that's the way you guys are, and you probably are also paying attention to the more recent news. When I say recent, I mean 10 to 20, less 10 to 20 years. So you're being careful about how much grains and super sweet fruits you're eating, as well as maybe dairy a little bit too. Sure. Uh, but yeah, if you're not eating junk food, you're probably doing okay. Um, but I've also been trying to have buy less per shopping trip, just being more efficient that way. I'm doing a pretty good job, but I could still probably buy even less per shopping trip. That's my gonna be my thing for quite some time, I think, to do that things that way. Some other things are actually happening. So I've been trying to find, I go through my stuff a little bit, trying to, I need to, there's something that I need to find. It's a little annoying. It's probably in my stuff somewhere. But, it's like when you have all little knickknacks and doodads, you want to put them all in one spot and have it be your knickknacks and doodads little box. So, but it's just, it takes a bit of time and energy, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Just in this last video, I was talking about this conversation I had and stuff. I think when you're having a conversation with a woman, if you feel like you're putting out there more than she's putting in, I don't know if that's a good thing or if it's just I don't know. I just know that it's always better to have it somewhat balanced. Um, there's a gentleman, I guess I watch his stuff sometimes, George Bruno on YouTube, and George Bruno is, he has his personality, he has this thing. I've mentioned him before. I'm sure he would admit this too. I know that so he's very wise in his way about women and people and stuff. But I know that he's also, it's not like he'll admit that he doesn't know everything, and I know how he is. Um, I guess what I'm trying to say there is, you guys should watch his stuff. You make up your own mind there, but he does make a lot of sense when he talks about how different kinds of women are, and it's true. I mean, there's a side to me that doesn't think very highly of a lot of women. There's still some women that are great. And a lot of women in general are great in their own way. But I think when it comes to the dating arena, um, it's, well, maybe because I'm a guy, but I tend to place more the lion's share of who's to blame about this miscommunication stuff on women. But I'm sure that's probably not really the case. But I have my suspicions, right? But no matter how things have been in my life, I cannot imagine how ridiculously confusing it's been for many other people as well. And I think a lot of people, even past their 20s, are still very confused about a lot of things, about that whole area of life, and confused about people, what they really think about them, And not too many people ever talk about their real feelings with other people. It still is not something that's people want to talk about. When people say, let's have the talk, when I've had some people say that to me before. Let's have the talk. Like, what? What? Like, I think you probably know how I feel about you already. We don't need to have a talk. You probably know how I'm feeling about you already because of how I'm acting around you. And if you're confused, I'll let you know. But but you don't want to hurt the girl's feelings, right? If you don't like them that much. But if you do like them that much, they don't even have to say, let's have a talk. They'll already know. They'll probably be like sharing it, or they'll be, stalker, right? So, oh, I hate that word. Because, of course, it's never true. It's just that, anyway. But, it's just, you know, the world in general, people in general, have a lot of things to work out. We all have a lot of things to work out and figure out still. Those people that have um, um, I don't know, more wisdom, if whether it's more of a heavenly kind of wisdom or more of a worldly kind of wisdom, they're still great to have around because we could use that wisdom. We need guidance in life. Um, and we particularly need it if it's more heavenly, I would think, but any kind of great wisdom is great, you know. Just that with worldly wisdom, you might not always get the, you know, well, you probably know what I'm talking about. But if it's useful, if it's good to know about, it's good to know about. It's just we're all trying to figure out each other, I think, on some level. At least if we're more interested in somebody. But also, I think we would want to know about a lot of things about humanity in general, as well. I would think. Heck, people are interested in evil, or like we're curious about evil sometimes. We would say we're not curious about evil per se, but we're curious about um, why people become so evil, or certain behaviors, or we're curious about the supernatural, or curious about demons, or whatever. We're curious about the darker side of humanity, and um, we get bored with again just um, everything is all hunky dory. You know, go about your life. It's all happy and good. Everybody's smiling, right? Maybe some of us get bored with that thing. It's like, you know, I don't know. But why is it that we can't just, I mean, let me put it another way here. And by the way, one of the best things about my new place is that there are just simply more people to chat with, which is great. And they're awesome guys. But, um, I mean, like, why is it so hard for us to understand that um, we have more in common than we have uniquenesses? So, I mean, I often find like if I'm going to teach a music lesson and we have a few minutes to chat with the parents or the dad or the mom, I'm always finding that I have more in common with not only kids but the parents. Like, oh yeah, yep, you have this thought about this company. Yep, I know exactly. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about. But why is it that I know what they're talking about? And they could be from a different culture originally. They could be, you know, we're generally talking about people from two different religions. I'm not teaching anybody who's Mormon right now. I've rarely taught people that are LDS. My entire time of teaching music lessons, I've only taught a handful of people that are LDS anyway. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, like you would think that we have more differences than we have similarities. No, 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 no. It's um, we have a lot in common, and it's like if I had to guess, talking to different people across the United States, whenever different, I would imagine people in general are more like each other than we're different. It doesn't matter if I'm talking. I remember like this is for my church mission or being in Utah or wherever. I'm talking with a Navajo lady, or some Chinese lady, or a Mexican man, or a man from Egypt, or Saudi Arabia. You're talking to some Swedish kids or something, shy little Japanese girls. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And I was told this in college by my horn professor. He's like, it's great that I'm interested in different cultures, but he said people essentially want kind of the same things in life, or people have a lot more in common than I might realize. That's what he told me. That he was right. He's right. But why is it that we dwell on the differences and we don't always keep in mind the similarities? Well, it's because we're tribal. I have my tribe, you have your tribe. Let's just stick to our agreed upon tribes and call it fair. But no, 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 no. We know that's not how we're supposed to be, right? I've There was one family I've been teaching their kids piano lessons that is very conservative and Protestant. They could have very easily not have me be their teacher because maybe they had some not so great feelings about my church, or maybe I don't know, but they weren't like that. No, no, they were totally cool with me. They know we're Mormon, and they were totally cool with that. So hats off to them. And whenever people are like, wait, hold on, whether it's any kind of relation you have, professional or personal or whatever else, people are able to say, I just want to get to know you a little bit. I don't, I know there's the things that make us divide up into our tribes. I just don't want to dwell on that stuff. But some people do. Some people will throw up that, oh, nope, nope, you can't have this, nope. And maybe they don't. It's not that they are opposed to my religion. They're not. Or maybe they don't hate white people. Maybe they don't. Whatever else about me they don't like. Maybe it's not that. Maybe they're just. Some people are very guarded, and so I don't know. That, and the crazy thing is, but yet in our daily life, we don't always treat people like they really have more in common with us than they have differences with us. I mean, like this is interesting. In in our scriptures, when we're taught we need to become like little children to live with God again. What does that mean? Well, it means a lot of things, but one of the things that it means is kind of not being a jerk to people that are complete strangers. That's what it means. One of the things it means. How do little kids act when they are around strangers when the parents tell them he's a stranger, stranger danger? I think that's important to know that there's bad people out there that could hurt little kids. But how do kids naturally want to act around people? They want to go up to people and go, hey, you have bright red hair. That's cool. Reminds me of cherries, right? Or I don't know. Or you have kids that, they'll just be like adorable. They'll just come up to somebody and be like, I want a lollipop. My mom won't give me a lollipop. Can you give me a lollipop, And they're not supposed to, a lot of kids won't do that because they're shy or they're told not to do that. But that's how kids are. They're naturally very friendly. And that's a very godly, heavenly kind of thing about kids. And if this world's so messed up that they can't even they can't even be that way. And then when we see kids that are more uninhibited and they're just really great, and we want to just we naturally will go to the parents, make sure it's okay to give them a lollipop or whatever it is, but we might not do that. But it really makes our day sometimes. It's one of those poke your heart things. But just imagine, most of the time, that doesn't happen because, well, stranger danger. We're a stranger, right? Because of those crazies out there that would do bad things to kids. You know. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking about these things in multiple videos, and maybe it's just because these things matter a lot to me. Again, in my evening videos, I tend to be a lot more reflective. I'll talk about some other stuff as we go. To have some other videos, but hopefully this stuff has been great for you to hear. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. Guys, leave me thoughts and comments below. Catch you later. Take care. Bye.